Not your merch is on the news again. Convicted U.S. Capitol rioter's son says he absolutely agrees with father. Oh my God. This. Oh my God, they're wearing my merch. Oh my God. Son who turned Capitol rioter
A
reacts to
federal
father's
judge has
sentence.
sentenced a January 6th rioter to 7 years in prison, which is the longest sentence so
Oh
far for participants in the Capitol
my
insurrection.
God.
Sentencing for Guy Reffitt comes nearly 20 months after he brought a gun
Bro,
to
the
the
court
Capitol.
reporter did him dirtier than his son did, though, bro. Look at this hairline, brother. Yo, dude. Dude. Am I responsible for, like, partially for this dude going to jail? What the fuck? I feel kind of weird about that.
Capitol and threatened House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Back in March, a D.C. jury convicted Guy of 5 felonies. Here's how Reffitt's daughters reacted to his sentencing.
To mark my dad as this horrible person, and then having him prosecuted like this when somebody is maybe even able to get elected again, doesn't seem right to me.
Trump deserves life in prison if my father's in prison for this long.
I mean, facts.
Joining us now.
I mean, facts. That's true. That's true.
Is Guy Reffitt's son, Jackson Reffitt. Jackson warned the FBI about his father both before and after the insurrection. Jackson, thank you so much for being with us this morning. How are you feeling? How are you reacting to this sentence?
I mean, I'm not happy at all, and I haven't been happy through this.
My man's got Metal Gear Solid posters behind him. He's wearing the HasanAbi merch. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus, Lord mercy. Oh, my God. Oh, shit.
Situation in my head. No one in my family has either. But to say I'm surprised would be a lie. I mean, everything my dad did, he's his own person, and his action has consequences. But I'm not happy at all.
Do you think he deserves this length of sentence?
I mean, absolutely. He deserves some time, rather for anything, to rehabilitate for his mental health. He deserves a lot of safety nets. But yes, he does.
You have worries about him being in prison that long. You mentioned his mental health.
Absolutely. I mean, the prison system in this country can be pretty harsh for a lot of reasons, and to blame my dad's deteriorating mental health for a pretty bad effect on him, I'm not going to be surprised. But, I mean, that's why I mentioned it in my letter.
Do you now, or have you throughout any of this process, had any second thoughts about turning him in?
Absolutely not. But it still bears the guilt that he is his own person and he has made his own choices, but he's also been pretty much manipulated into making those choices. And it pains me that he is still responsible for his actions.
Jackson, I want to talk about.
Bro, this is like, this line of questioning is straight up. This line of questioning is when you don't get the actual, like, adequate answers you're looking for, to, like, milk the content dry from a dude who, like, you know, informed the FBI before his dad even fucking went out there, okay? Like, they're just like, oh, but it's not enough. Give me some juice. Like, give me actual, give me some real shit. Do you want your dad to fucking get punished in prison forever? You know what I mean?
About what this has done to your family.
Or, like, do you regret it? Do you regret it?
This is your mom speaking yesterday. I want to listen to this.
No matter if you're a liberal, if you're an independent, if you're a Republican, this is not okay. This is what this is political persecution. We are patriots. Ashley Babbitt was a patriot. My husband.
Oh, no, dude. This dude's mom is fucking... Oh, no. Oh, no. To all my HasanAbi heads out there, you're not alone, okay? Even if you have fucking parents that are like this, okay? Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry that you have to go through this.
As a patriot. Roseanne Boylan was a patriot. And all I can say...
Ashley Babbitt was a patriot. Ashley Babbitt got literal schizophrenia from reading too many posts, okay? That's what QAnon is. It's like mass-induced adult-onset schizophrenia. There's no other way to describe it. This is not to like shit on, people with schizophrenia that are dealing with it every day in their lives or whatever. But that is what patriot posting does to you, okay? She did too much posting. And sometimes it can get out of hand, okay? You know how people say like, hey, if you're, be careful smoking weed, especially if you have like a history of mental illness in your family. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. It's like if you have a chance of developing mental illness, especially around like 25 plus, then don't do too much posting because it can break your brain completely.
Is that y'all can all go to hell and I'm going back to Texas.
What is your relationship like with your mom?
Oh,
with
God.
Your sisters?
It's been really hard over the past couple years. The really polarizing differences in how we view our father and the people that are involved in communities such as what my father was in. But, and it feels like we're each pulling on each string one way. But I don't view this as a political matter. This is more of what is morally correct and how to go about it. And what my father was manipulated into doing and what he led to think was the best and only way to do it. He decided as an adult to make those choices. And whether my family views it any differently, it doesn't have an effect of the outcome. Yeah.
When you heard what your mom said there, what do you think about what she said?
Realistically, this doesn't have a matter of a political opinion. What my father did is far from politics. This is completely off the rails violence, whether it had a political motive.
You snitch on your dad in this situation? Bro, I try to fucking handcuff my dad to a goddamn, like, water pipe or some shit if he was so psychotic that he was going to fly out to fucking D.C. But at a certain point, if you've tried everything, if all else has fucking failed, what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? What the fuck are you supposed to do? Because, like, you have to remember, you have to remember, you like, he said he already like informed the authorities ahead of time. Like he tried to stop him. I'm sure it started off usually as it starts out with everyone else, where it's like you have these conversations, you start noticing that like there are going down that pipeline where at first it could be anything. It could start with like it could basically start off with like, questioning the efficacy of vaccines. And you're like, oh, well, that's normal. There's a little bit of resentment or a little, skepticism there. That's understandable. That's fine. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, these vaccines are bad for you. And then before you know it, you're like, your family is so far fucking down that rabbit hole that they're like literally saying Bill Gates wanted to microchip people. And then what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So the fact that he felt the need to like do anything, to even like inform the authorities ahead of time means that like that was the last resort. And here is wait, is this the guy? Is this the name of the? Is it Refit? Yeah, it is. Okay. Prosecutor, he would benefit from mental health treatment. Judge, his actions appear unhinged at times. Judges repeatedly expressing concern about allegation of Refit firing a gun near his wife's head in 2020, but couches are concerned saying Refit clearly loves wife. Like, this dude is not all right. You know what I mean? And what are you going to do? What are you going to do if if you're in that situation and that's your dad? What are you supposed to do? You tried reasoning with him. I'm sure he did. Okay. You tried reasoning with him. You tried fucking informing the authorities, but the authorities are like, oh yeah, we know motherfuckers are coming for January 6th. We're also going to be taking time off to go and protest. You know what I mean? What are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Prosecutor Refit knew what he was doing, using the Texas 3%er error to his benefit, then hiding it. Prosecutor says after seeing FBI make arrest post January 6th, Refit got scared and thought the three-letter agencies were coming for him and then threatened his children. Guy Refit's daughter is coming to the podium to make a statement to seek leniency for her dad. He said a lot of things he doesn't mean. His mental health is an issue. She's tearing up and asks for a moment. Refit's daughter asks, my father's name wasn't on all the flags. It was another man's name. He was not the leader. Meanwhile, the mom is still like, I love Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump's country. And you know, Ashley Babbitt was a hero. What the fuck are you supposed to do in that situation? You know what I mean? Your parents are fucked. They're brainwashed. What are you supposed to do? For a lot of you, it's hard to comprehend. Myself included. You know what I mean? For a lot of you, it is incredibly, incredibly hard to comprehend what that looks like. So until you're in those shoes, okay? Until you are experiencing exactly a broken, abusive, brain-rotten, parent-induced abusive household, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Like, you don't know. You don't know how you would react in that situation. Right? Is it the lead poisoning in America? Dude, it is. It's just Americanism, okay? Judge is troubled by Refit's sentence references to 1776. Refit doesn't want to put his family through suffering and says his concerns about family makes Refit less likely to offend in the future. The defense is only 14 people received sentences of more than 2 years in prison. As a part of the defense argument, Refit's conduct was less severe than others. No leftovers today. Leftovers is tomorrow, but no leftovers tomorrow. So yeah. I feel for this kid. I'm fully grown now. Both my parents have totally fallen down the same path. They refuse to speak to me anymore and even picked up and moved to Texas without ever telling me. The kid did the right thing and hopefully his dad understands that one day. I don't think I mean, it depends. It entirely depends on whether or not he will. Part of the reason why motherfuckers, and this is a Nick Mullen bit, but part of the reason why motherfuckers did January 6th is because of a sense of entitlement. Okay? Like, obviously, there are more complex underlying systemic failures that led to such an action. But a big driving motivator is the sense of entitlement that a lot of white reactionaries felt. A lot of reactionaries in general. You know what I mean? But when you have that level of fucking entitlement, when you have that sense of entitlement, it's really hard to recover from that. I mean, it's like going to be really difficult for you to come to your senses. You know what I mean? QAnon advanced American brain rot to an unprecedented degree. Yeah, it's just crazy.
At this point, doesn't matter. It's more about what he did and who he did it for.
It seems like, you know, your sister Peyton, listening to her, she feels kind of caught in the middle of this. You know, she was there at the courthouse. She loves you. She made that clear yesterday. She thinks that your dad, if he's getting this time, that Trump should be getting some time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely. When she said that, I was flabbergasted. Not only was I so impressed with her, but she was so right. I mean, my dad was used as a puppet, and thousands of families have been. And whether you deny or agree with that, it's just it's facts at this point. It is disgusting to see that someone with practically money and social power can just get away with manipulating thousands of people just for whatever reason and have no outcome.
When we look at this sentence, which is the longest one we've seen so far for a January 6th participant, part of the reason was that your father carried a weapon. He did not enter the Capitol, but he also decided that he was going to trial instead of accepting a plea. And that,
Like, that's the reason why he has such a fat sentence, by the way. Homie had a gun. You know what I mean? For those of you who don't understand, like that's wild, bro. Your dad has like fired off a weapon allegedly inside of the house. Like, he's crazy. He's just like going buck wild. He's hanging out with 3%ers, probably fucking off that Fox News crack all night, every day. Like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? You can't just like, I don't think you can just like carry a gun, use it in inappropriate ways routinely, and then say that you're going to fucking go and do an insurrection alongside all these other patriots. Bring your gun to that situation, and because you didn't go through with it, like, you get no punishment. That's not how the law works. And that's not even from a moral point of view. Like, that's not how this works. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one to hide behind the law as a substitute for morality. But, like, that's not how this shit works. You can't just be like, well, I tried to rob a bank and I failed to do so, which, by the way, robbing a bank is in my opinion, way cooler than trying to do a fucking insurrection with the you know, gravy, with the gravy seals, right? But, like, holy shit. I don't know.
obviously is something that would have potentially gotten him a longer sentence, more time in jail. It seemed in court that he regretted that a bit, but why do you think he wanted to do that initially? Why do you think he wanted to be an example?
I can't think of anything other than my own experience with my father, knowing that he is a narcissist and that he has a rather large ego. And it was horrible to see him make that decision, knowing that he could have gotten off much easier. And I feared the moment that he was offered that and he denied it, that he would deny it and try to fight it in court. And I knew it wasn't going to end up like anything other than it is right now.
Have you talked to him since he was arrested, and have you talked to him since he was sentenced?
Briefly, I had a really weird phone call with him that was really awkward. But yeah, I talked to him once, and we did not talk about anything other than like Magic the Gathering, because they have guards in prison, but nothing too serious, no.
So it was just a hello and talking about Magic the Gathering, and that was it.
Yes, it was. It was really weird. But I would love to talk to him again.
You would love to speak with him again. What would you say to him, Jackson?
Like, it just feels like he wants his dad to get better. You know what I mean? Who doesn't want that? What kid whose fucking dad is just like lost in the sauce wouldn't want their dad to just get better? It's like, I always talk about the importance of empathy, right? Whenever I talk about these sorts of things, like I want people to just stop doing bad things. That's what I want them to do. I don't want people to be punished. I'm not vindictive. Sometimes I am spite-based, right? But like, for the most part, I just want people to get better. I want people to stop behaving in the most like irrational, insane way possible, right? I want people to no longer see the top of the hour ad breaks.
I don't even know whether I don't want to engage with such deep emotions with him right now. It still is taking a lot of time. I still don't even know how to process right now in terms of what I'm actually feeling. But I would just talk about the most pointless stuff just to go have a one-on-one with him at least a couple more times before he gets out.
Because he's your dad?
Absolutely. He's still my father. That doesn't justify anything that he's done, but I still have that attachment to him.